It's Tuesday morning, and of course, as you just heard, it is indeed the morning show. I'm Rob Bennett, filling in for Dalton Shetler, who is in Iowa for getting ready to prep for tonight's big Michigan State men's basketball game against the Hawkeyes. Ryan Cole and, of course, Chris Porty joining me. But we also have a few Michigan State alums joining us here in studio. Matthew Elowike and Mark Myers, former Michigan State football players, but more importantly than that, creators of Sympl, an app for students to connect and communicate within classes and a lot more. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here this morning to discuss your creation.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
All right, Sympl. First, anything that says simple or has simple in it, I'm all for. Simple guys, simple simple needs. So this app is to help students reach their academic potentials, correct? How does this app help them do that?
So really what it is, students should view it as kind of like a buddy, you know. If you think about going to the gym, that's something that's kind of hard to do by yourself. But, you know, if you have a friend that'll go with you, it's a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. And so that's the same concept with this. You know, going through college, academics can be strenuous. And so this app was created for busy college students to kind of help them stay on top of their work by reducing, you know, the amount of time they spend searching for what's due in class and just increasing the amount of time that they spend actually looking at the material. And so with this app, we send push notifications to students about upcoming homework and exams and classes so that they can stay up to date with what's coming up. And then we also highlight study groups that have been created by a student's classmate on a map of campus. So, you know, every time a new study session is created, an alert gets sent out to every member of the class.
So it's like a calendar, but so much more. Just it's kind of like a profile type of scenario where everything's right there at your fingertips, and you don't have to search out everybody.
Exactly. Our goal is just to make it so easy for a student to get directly connected to the resources to the point where they're just like, all right, I might as well just sit down. Let me just get it done so that I can get out more and experience, you know, the college life.
And it's just not to get connected with other students, although that's very important, but it's every other aspect of the study and learning process here.
Exactly, because now, you know, a lot of people, when they think about college, they focus more so on like the grades. Students have this, you know, this thing in their head to where the grades is what's most important because that's what's passed down to them or to us by our parents, you know, by other teachers and things like that. And so what we want to do is introduce students to more of like the experience of college because, you know, just as important as the grades are, getting out, networking, meeting your peers, connecting with each other is just as important. Because for somebody who goes through college, you know, and gets all the good grades, but, you know, they're not able to network themselves in the business world, it's not.
Right. It's the next step after, which a lot of students struggle with, depending, and they get the degree, but trying to find the right, I want to say, job or placement for them. This could also help in that aspect?
Oh, yes.
Wow. Excellent. Yes. Excellent. Now, you can download this, correct? You can download this. Now, what are some of the special features? I know with the technology, it's always changing. We'll get into that a little bit. But what are some of the features that you guys have for this app specifically that maybe no one else has?
Some of the special features that that we like to focus on is the push notifications that the students will receive on upon upcoming due dates for homework assignments, projects, exams, and also quizzes. But one of the main features we really focus on is our interactive map, allowing students to create study groups on campus with students they share classes with. So, you know, any point in the time of the day that you feel like that you want to study, that you can just pull your your phone out and get on the Sympl app, create a study group, and your peers in your classroom will receive a push notification, and they can request to join your study group right away. So it's kind of like a one-button step to create connecting with your classmates. So.
And it's crazy because you would think that something, you know, based on study groups and making it easier for students to connect with their classmates and peers would be created by now, especially as deep as we are into education. But there isn't a tool out there that is specifically focused on the creation of study groups when it comes to students. So we saw that as an opportunity and did what we had to do to seize it.
Yeah, and you guys are most certainly doing that. When did you guys, now obviously former Michigan State football players, when did you guys come together, a friendship obviously built, and then deciding to become business partners? How did that all happen for you guys?
Well,
we're getting the real scoop here, fans, right here.
Oh, yeah, it's honestly quite a blur. The one thing that I can't remember, there's one day that I won't forget. We were sitting in my dorm in North Case, and we had just watched The Social Network. It was like 2014, that Facebook movie. And, after watching it, we were like, all right, Mark Zuckerberg, he was in school. He had an idea for something, and he just created it, and now look at him. And so, we were like, why can't we do the same thing? We've always kind of had, this mindset to where football can only get you, so far.
Sure.
And so I've always been one to plan for life after. So that's just what it was.
Kind of the same thing, there was all these apps being created, and me and my boy Matt, we just thought about, damn, we want to get rich as well. So in these apps, and a lot of people are getting rich off these apps, and one of the things that everyone that want to do, they're going to college, and we needed to find a problem that everyone goes through every single day. So connecting college students together was one thing that is very important throughout students' lives and throughout their experience through college, and also like playing football. And like as being closer as a team, we always was a better team. So if we can bring the students together as a campus community and get them connecting with their classmates, overall they're going to do better in academics. So
yeah, and how did that idea between the both of you happen right away? This idea to connect students right away, or how long did it? Then when did the light bulb go off and say, "Hey, this could work out"?
Probably like the fall of last year.
Yeah.
See, the ideas changed a lot from the beginning to now. Like we had the original idea was like a full campus app that showed like bus routes, what was being served in cafeterias, a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't even needed. And so, and going through like the business development phase and just like learning about, creating a business, we saw that we had to tone it down a lot and just focus on one thing that truly differentiated us from, the other companies in our marketplace. And so that's when we decided to, focus more so on study groups, making it easier for students to get connected with their peers and just, making college simple. It's education.
It sounds crazy, right?
Right.
But it works. It can work that way.
Right, because, it's education. It's something that we feel like is deserved by everybody. Everybody deserves to get an education.
Sure.
And so, when you add these extra elements that make it harder for a student to get to college, it can be frustrating. And so our goal is to really just make college simple again so that everybody can get the education that they want.
I like it. We're going to have more with you guys if you can stick around after this quick break. We're talking more Sympl right after this on the Spartan Network. Stay tuned, fans. To this Tuesday edition of the morning show, I'm Rob Bennett, filling in for Dalton Shetler. I'm here with Ryan Cole and Chris Purdy, but two very special guests, Michigan State football alums, Matthew Elaweke and Mark Myers, easy for me to say. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here for our second segment of the show today. We're talking about you guys' invention, the app known as Sympl, to help bring students together in an educational way that has not been done before. You guys are breaking some ground. And this Sympl app, you guys really have made an outreach for this. You've not just here at MSU, but Texas, Arizona State. It was chosen in 2017 as the University Startup of the Year, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and that's a combination of MSU faculty and staff alum and business leaders. What's the next step for the growth of this product? And just how proud of you guys are that this has really got off to such a big start when you look at the big picture of things.
Looking at the big picture, we still have a lot.
Yeah.
Like a long way to go. We're proud of everything that we've been able to accomplish up to this point. The next thing for us is scaling. We've had the opportunity to go to other campuses, like you said, Texas, Arizona State. We actually just got connected with a few schools in California, some big ones. Mm-hmm. And so really for us, it's just making this platform available to more students outside of just Michigan State University, expanding it to more people at MSU. and then just scaling.
Yeah, and you get, it's just not you guys now. You have a small group
Yes.
also, so we want to give credit to those guys as well, and ladies.
We have to. Daisy, she's helped us a lot from the beginning with like project management, things that we have to do. Engineering wise, we have a good team of engineers, 3 of them, Yash, Jawant, and Jacob. And so it's actually cool because Jacob went to my high school, and I didn't know that until we were interviewing. So I thought that was really cool.
Small world.
Right, exactly. And so, it's definitely a team effort. Nothing that we could do by ourselves. So,
yeah. And you guys had some football careers, obviously, onto the next stage of your of what you're doing for your life. But do you use some of the football acronyms that you learned playing football in the business world? Because it can just be just as cutthroat. I mean, it's quite a world out there. Even worse.
Yeah,
in some aspects.
Definitely worse. Yeah, I know. I definitely take what I've learned just in life and what I learned here playing football, and apply it to what I'm doing now. I'm sure Mark does the same.
Definitely learned a lot of life lessons during them early morning workouts, 5 in the morning, getting up to.
You don't miss those, I'm sure.
Definitely don't wake up getting up at 5 in the morning, getting on the line, and just discipline and being on time to things. It's the small things that they teach you that really take place into the business world.
Buddy.
Yeah, the little buddy that my boy Matt just mentioned is something that you really don't want to be introduced to. It's like a little wooden board that you have to push across the turf 100 or 200 yards if you're even a minute late. So.
Oh, you don't have that at the office if one of you guys is late? No?
We might have to get one.
Go ahead,
we might have to go get one.
All right, so you're saying you're going to be heading out to California here in the next couple of days. Give us a little bit of a sales pitch that you would give, just to give listeners that are in business wanting to get their own invention out of there or their own business aspect. What are some of the key factors for students to want to start creating, especially in a technology world where everything is changing at a fast pace and everybody is, like you guys said earlier, jumping on this apps scenario? Just what are some of the key points that you would tell young entrepreneurs for that?
I would say, first off, try to understand who you are as a person, because like what we were just talking about, creating a business, especially from the ground up, is something that can be very cutthroat. Like you have to be able to sit through, people maybe bashing your idea. You have to be able to take people trying to change what you're doing, maybe skew your words. And so you really have to be tough and have thick skin in order to really, do something great, build a business from the ground up. And also, I would say, don't do it for the money. Like, the money should never be your motivation. You should always see, the money as something that's always going to come if you put in the right work. And if you're doing it for the right reasons, the money will always be there. But entering into entrepreneurship, you should truly understand, the problem that it is that you're trying to solve. You shouldn't just see it as a money opportunity, because anybody that works for money can sell themselves short. So.
He basically just hit it on the head, was just focus on the problem that you're really trying to fix. And if you feel like you have a solution to a problem, get out there and talk to your customer. And once you do that, and once you get a following and understanding to what you're really doing, you can really start to create your team, and you guys can start to come together to form a product that's really ready to be put out to the environment for people ready to use. So if something that you're really passionate about and that you want to happen, you really sit down with your team and you figure out the problem that you really want to solve, and you go from there into drive, and don't give up, because there's going to be a lot of people out there to tell you no. And if you don't hear no, your idea may not be good enough.
Right.
So always think bigger than what your idea is, because you always can pivot and to change your idea, but always stay true to yourself and true to your team. And when you do that, things will always end up playing out in your favor.
And another key for me as a consumer, if I was trying to invent something or come up with something, it's something that I would want to use myself, because if I don't want to use it, then who's to say anybody else would? So obviously that comes into play when you were trying to create something as well.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I was thinking about my learning experience, because I didn't have the greatest academic experience going through here, but proud to say that I finished, and graduated and everything.
Excellent.
But that definitely motivated me in, creating this.
Yeah, and I can tell you back in the early years, way back when I was in college, I would love to have something like Sympl. I mean, it's groundbreaking. You guys are doing a tremendous job with it, and again, it's the next step for you guys is
Taking over.
taking over.
Taking over.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring more awareness to education. Not just tell students and the youth that education is important, but really show them why it's important and what they can take away from their experience of going to college, going through high school, and just show them the true importance of it.
And the athletes too, because as you guys are well aware, your athletic play, there's only really a small window, and not everybody makes it to the highest. Right? I mean, it's very true. And to have that, I don't want to say backup plan, but another plan in place is very important, and especially for maybe people coming in, young men and women coming in as freshmen and sophomores, still trying to find their way, and making sure they have a backup plan to maybe whatever their endeavor is very important. This is obviously a way to do that.
Right, exactly. And just, I mean, it's all about really just doing what you want. So if you want to be like a professional athlete, like if your goal is to be a professional football player and you have the opportunity to go to a school like this, just take full advantage of all the resources that are here. Or, if your goal is to go into business, you still have those same resources here. It's just you have to be all in with it. You can't even be 99% with it, or else it won't work out in the end. So you won't get the full of what you're supposed to. So whatever you decide to do, just be 100% into it.
All right. Excellent job, guys. We appreciate you coming in, talking a little Sympl. And where can everybody download it? Give us the info. Where can we go to download it, get more information, and be a part of this?
Oh, yes. Or what? Go ahead.
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook at Keep It Sympl, LinkedIn at Sympl, and you can find us on our website at www.sympl.info.
And that's SYMPL.
Yes. Any way you say it, it's simple.
Simple.
And I like simple. Keep it simple, right?
Keep it
Oh,
simple.
yeah.
Indeed. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in today this early morning. We really appreciate some
Thank you for having us.
fantastic stuff and continued success. We'll be in touch for sure.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck to you guys.
Thank you for having us.
All right, fans, we'll be back with more of the morning show. Stay tuned right after this.